Hi everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. This is the 2023 Mercedes-Benz GLE 450. It is obviously a vehicle that is filled with high-end materials, a comfortable and roomy interior. It's easy to see out of, and I like the fact that you have a feature-packed infotainment system that's easy to use. You also have the fact that it's the MBUX, or the Mercedes-Benz user experience. That means that pretty much everything you want to do as far as the MBUX system goes is on voice command. Changing the lights, changing temperature, getting information that you might want to know about the vehicle. There's a lot going on here. This technology debuted with the Mercedes-Benz models in 2021, or for the 2021 model year. So it's been here for a little while now. I think a lot of people like it that way. If you are like Monk and you don't want to have fingerprints on your screen, well, you don't have to. So we're going to answer the question today, or at least give you the information to answer the question. Do the features match the price? Let's take a look and find out. Here on the front end, obviously, you're going to find LED lighting everywhere you look, and a very elegant look with the daytime running lights, with the direction that they work and flow. The same with the turn signals. That's one reason why you want to use your turn signals, because they look cool and they look nice and elegant. And you might wonder about that flickering effect you notice on your screen a little bit. That has to do with the shutter speed of my GoPro. It has nothing to do with this GLE 450. So that's a good thing to know. You do have the active air curtains right here that allows the air to flow through the front end. It's going to help with your gas mileage. It's nice to see active air curtains like that. It's not just sitting there as a faux vent or anything like that. The diamond block grille here, again, giving that touch of elegance. And it kind of looks, well, depending on your perspective, as if somebody threw the Mercedes-Benz logo right there into the middle and it just kind of splashed and everything's kind of flowing away from it. Some of you might say it's flowing towards it. It just depends on your personal perspective. The Mercedes-Benz logo right here also in the center of the hood, down on the lower portion by the shut line, and nice lines from front to back all over the vehicle. And what about the remote? There's what it looks like as far as the 2023 model goes. Pretty simplistic, but definitely effective. And you will have your power adjustable, power folding side view mirrors, body color on the top. You're going to have the turn signal indicators built in, and you will have a combination of the body color and chrome here on these door handles. A really nice look. I say that's pretty elegant in this case. Chrome kind of going by the wayside in this day and age compared to its popularity in the past, but in this particular case, I think it works. And even though I don't think they're necessary here, you do have the steps to help making it a little easier to get in and out of the interior. Like I say, not really necessary, but I do like the fact that they are there, because it does give this model a little bit of a lower profile look. It looks more aggressive, and you will have the fender flares here on the rear and the nice LED tail lights. Going to have that rear roof spoiler that finishes things off. Obviously, those roof rails up there, you can get the crossbars and increase your cargo capacity. Everything, all of the lines here flowing very well on the exterior of the vehicle to give it really kind of an almost in motion when it's sitting still look. And with the all-wheel drive, or 4MATIC GLE 450, you will find 21-inch wheels at all four corners, but you will find different sizes of tires on the front compared to what we have on the rear. On the front, 275 will be the width, with a 45 series sidewall, and a little more meat on the rear, as we're going to have 315 on the width and a 40 series sidewall. So what kind of power is going to the ground with this model? Well, it's motivated by a 3-liter inline turbocharged 6-cylinder that makes a plentiful 362 horsepower and 369 pounds-feet of torque, mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. According to Mercedes-Benz, the MPGs come in at 20 city, 25 highway. Cargo capacity will come in at 33.3 up to 74.9. You do have a hands-free lift gate A few different ways you can open that, but that is one of them. And because I know a lot of you like to see the seats all folded down to maximize cargo capacity, well, I'm going to show you how that looks. We do have a few things back here as far as the floor mats go, but you can see how this works. This seat will fold completely flat, but just couldn't get the seat to move up for some reason. Not sure what's up with that. This is a used model, by the way, so that might explain some things, but we're going to go ahead and show you everything that is here anyway. Yes, this is a 3-row SUV. How much room is in that 3rd row? Let's take a look and find out. And starting with the door panel on the driver's side of the rear seat area, or should we just say the left side? Well, that's what we're looking at. You do have adjustable seats here, so you can adjust quite a bit. You can see that I'm adjusting the position of the seat. I can move that back and forth a few different ways. And the good news about that is that this is all in the shape of the seat, so you know easily what you can change and where you're going to be moving things when you do that. There's all power back here in this 2nd row area. You can increase leg space for the 3rd row passengers. So actually what I'm going to do is go ahead and move that as far forward as I can. Now we do have the speaker right here. As you can see, a nice large armrest. Give it the armrest test. It is nice and comfortable and plenty of space within the door bin. Now, if you have kids who are impatient, or maybe you're impatient, or your spouse is impatient, your husband or your wife, whatever the case is, here's a good way to test their patience and help them become more patient. Tell them to get this seat moved up and out of the way. It takes a little while, as you can see. It's not terribly long, but it does take a few seconds. It's a little bit more than just moving the seat manually or pushing a button as it is with some vehicles. Now, it is a little bit tight to get back here, and one thing about it, I will bring the seat back like this just to show you one thing, is that you have to hold the button down for that to work. And so, yeah, it's a little tight back here, even with the seats moved up. Leg room, maybe not terrible in front of my knees, but I am a little cramped in here. And you want to talk about being cramped. Well, sorry, Mercedes-Benz, but we need more headroom back here. I guess this is really solid as an area for the kids. And by the way, you can move all of the seats and everything out of the way right here in this back area if you need to. And then, obviously, to get back out, let's see if we can get that to work for us. There we go. It's going to start moving now. And you can see that I don't have to hold that down to get everything up and out of the way. And the seats do recline back nicely. I've left a couple of things in a couple of different areas for you to see, just to see how that looks. Now, one thing that you can do is have the pass-through right here. That way there's still seating on each side, on the left and the right-hand side of the vehicle. In case you are curious about that, you can fold this down. Here is the armrest with the cup holders built in. You will actually do this, and then let's see about our cup holders. There are the cup holders. A little bit of space in there. The thing I like about this, let's see how well this works. Well, I was hoping that even with the cup holders up here that you could still use this as an armrest. Passengers would have to have their arms way back here, but you can see what's there in that situation. And there are air conditioning vents on the rear of the center console. You would likely expect that, and a couple of options for connectivity, whether it's USB or the power outlet right down here that's behind the cover. And looking in through the passenger side door into the front seat, we're going to see, well, that same setup that we saw with our seat adjustments right here, everything in the shape of the seat. You have seat memory right here, 3 different settings, and you have your heated and ventilated seat as well. Obviously, a little bit larger door bin, a little larger armrest, everything very comfortable. And even though you can't really see it very well here, you do have the illuminated Mercedes-Benz logo right here on the door sill. And we're going to move that seat back just a little bit real quick here to make it a little bit easier for me to hop inside. You can see that you have kind of almost an oh crap handle right there for when somebody wants to exercise that 362 horsepower and get down the road as fast as possible. And by the way, yes, there is a sunroof here. In this particular case, it is a conventional size. And then we're going to have the wood paneling right here. It's really more plastic than wood, but it is here. It is nice looking. and the interior of the glove box. Kind of a nice experience to rub your hand in there on that felt-like material. It is comfortable. And we can conceal everything away here, but when you open that up, you will find more USB connectivity, the cup holders. There's the wireless charging pad, so that makes it easy. And then we'll show you a little bit of what's here as far as controlling the volume on the radio. You can change modes here. There's quite a few different features here, pretty easy to figure out. This is your trackpad that you can still use if you want to control that MBUX system. And then we have our Bombay doors right here. So we'll take a look inside there, quite a bit of space. It looks like another USB port right here. So, you know what? I think you just fucked that up, dummy. And when it comes to the interior in the front seat, we'll look in through the passenger side door first. You're still going to have the same setup for the most part as what we saw in the back seat, with a few exceptions. You have the heated and ventilated seat functions right there, 3 different settings for seat memory, a larger door bin, and armrest. And by the way, that door sill down there is illuminated. Plenty of space within the glove box, as you would likely expect. And then we can conceal things away if we want to, or we can open this area up. And what does it reveal? Well, the cup holders, more connectivity options, and the wireless charging pad. If you want to clean things up, you can close that right up. Here's the trackpad for controlling the touch screen, or if you don't want to actually touch it, you can just use that. Obviously, you can see what else is here. I think you know more than enough of what that is. And if you're wondering what this is, that actually makes it easier to use the trackpad. You just rest your wrist on there or your hand, and it just makes it easier to work around with everything. A little bit of space right here for storage, and the Bombay doors allowing access to another USB option right there, and a reasonable amount of space within the center console. And yes, there is a sunroof here. In this particular case, it is the conventional size sunroof, just in case you were wondering what is here. And here on the driver's side door, well, pretty much the same as what we saw on the passenger side, with a few additions as you would expect. And then obviously you have the controls for your heated and ventilated seats. Let's see if we can show that to you. In fact, let me close the door. There is the heated function. We do not need that today. There is the ventilated function. We do need that today. It's not as bad as it's been. It's a little bit better, but you can see what's there as far as all of that goes. Very easy functionality to use. Here are your steering wheel mounted controls that do quite a bit. I'm going to show you a little bit more about that in just a second. And I don't know, do Mercedes-Benz have the same reputation as BMWs as not having the blinker option? Well, this one sure has it. Some of you may or may not know how to use that. It just depends. I drive around a lot of you, so I know you don't know how to use it. But you probably do know how to use your shifter paddles here on the steering wheel to control that 9-speed automatic transmission. You do have multiple driving modes that you can work your way through depending on what you want to do. So that is helpful as far as that goes. In fact, we're going to go through some of those right now. Let me turn the air down just a little bit. So you're going to have individual that you can go into. You can go right there and select that if you wanted to. You can go to sport, you can go to comfort, you can go to eco. There's a lot going on here. And the neat thing about it is that you can customize everything, and you can do it from the steering wheel right here. You don't have to necessarily use the trackpad down there to do so. So here's what we have. I can actually control everything. You can see how I'm just scrolling my way through here. And you can even move over to other areas and make changes there as well. It's really simple to figure out. If you want to get rid of the navigation over there on the right-hand side, well, guess what? You can do that. There are a lot of neat changes you can make here. Almost endless. Not quite endless, but almost endless. And the thing about it, not only on the instrument cluster there, but you can also do the same thing here. As you can see what I'm doing with the trackpad right there. The infotainment screen, the center screen, will also allow you to do that. You can go into your settings, and there are settings aplenty. Is that the right way to say that? I guess it is. But you can see what's here. Now you can use it as a touch screen. If you wanted to, you can see some of the features that we have here. The camera and parking, you can go in and see what's going on there. If you need to make changes to that, you can. You can see what's going on with that. We can go back. And yes, I'm probably going to bother some of you by actually touching the touch screen, but just to show you what's here, it's okay. We can always wipe the fingerprints off. but you can see what all is here as far as your different safety features go. You can also go into the vehicle and make changes there as well and see a lot of different information, belt adjustment, acoustic lock, all of that is here. And obviously ambient lighting. There is a lot that you can do with that as well. In fact, if I remember correctly, I believe there are 64 different colors that you can change as far as the interior lighting goes. So a lot going on where that's concerned. It's a pretty neat system as far as your ambient lighting goes. You can go right up here to do that, by the way, so you can make sure that it's as bright as you want it to be, or dim that if you want to. Right here, you can do that, and you can go into your colors right here as well. And something else you can do, let's just use this as a demonstration. Hey Mercedes,
how can I help?
Change the interior color to blue.
Okay, I'm changing the color.
And even though I should have said ambient lighting, well, guess what? She makes up for my mistakes. Now you can really see the ambient lighting very well with that blue color. As far as that goes, there's a lot more here than just what I'm showing you, but I'm sure you know what's here as far as all that goes. So that's not all there is. If we go into reverse, we're going to see that we have a few different views with the cameras. We'll go into that, and you don't have to be in reverse to do this. You do have the overhead 360-degree view. You can see the view off of the side view mirrors. There's a lot going on here. Very easy to navigate your way, not only through the interior, but also anywhere you go. If you have somebody who parks too close to you at the grocery store or wherever you go, well, no problem. You can see what's going on around you with that and make the appropriate decisions to drive wherever you need to. And like I said, you can just push this button right here. That allows you to go to this screen. You don't have to be in reverse for that to happen. That's a good thing. Just things to know. There's so much here that I could make a video that goes on and on for hours. One thing I do want to point out very quickly here, if you're saying to yourself, well, what all can you ask Mercedes to do for you as far as the MBUX system goes? You can actually ask that question. The answer is, I think, about 45 seconds to a minute long. So I'm not going to bore you with that, but if you were curious, well, there is a way to know. Okay, we're out on the road for the test drive, and as you would expect, you have a good ride quality here. The seats themselves are comfortable, and that's one thing about some vehicles on the road is the fact that they can be comfortable with the interior. The seats may be comfortable, but the suspension and the shocks might not allow for such a comfortable ride quality. So that kind of cancels out the comfortable interior. In this case, you have a good balance of both. And obviously you can make a lot of changes to how the vehicle gets down the road as far as your different driving modes that we looked at earlier. And one thing I will say about that, I'm just driving in comfort mode right now. And when you need to get up and go, well, it can get up and go. In fact, we can go around this Ram real quick here. Now, I'm in comfort mode. There's a little less space than I expected between him and the vehicle in front of him, but no big deal. I'll tell you what, that's comfort mode right there. Absolutely no problem getting around that Ram 1500 back there. I'm not in sport mode. We'll move into sport mode for our next experience here. But like I showed you earlier, the good thing is you don't have to worry about messing with the screen or doing anything like that as far as actually physically touching the screen or taking your eyes off the road because of the MBUX system here, the Mercedes-Benz user experience. So that really makes a difference. Steering wheel's nice and comfortable. Everything as you would expect it to be. We'll just give it a little bit of gas here. You know, to be honest, I can't really tell a big difference between comfort and sport mode. Very interesting how that works, but you just never know. Figured I'd try it just to let you know as far as what's going on. But overall, a very enjoyable vehicle to drive, plenty of safety features, and like I said earlier, it's easy to see out of. You can't lose where that's concerned, because that isn't something I can say about every single vehicle that I drive. Very well balanced, enjoyable to drive. It has that luxurious feel to it as far as the overall driving experience goes. It's a very well balanced vehicle in my personal opinion. Okay, now it's your turn to tell me what you think about this 2023 Mercedes-Benz GLE 450. Does it have the right features for the right price? Tell me what your thoughts are. I'm always curious to know. And even though this isn't a brand new model, I've given you basically the number that you would pay with a brand new model. I also will give you the number that Morgan Buick GMC is asking for this particular model. There's a link in the description to their website if maybe you're interested in buying this particular model, coming in and taking it for a test drive, whatever the case is. So I have to say a special thanks to my friends at Morgan Buick GMC for loaning me this 23 Mercedes-Benz GLE 450 for the day. And a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and haven't subscribed to the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel just yet, please consider doing so. And if you enjoyed this video and would like to learn about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.